So it's just me and you for our first video. This is Astronomy with My Dad, number 1. Uh, this is March of 26th of 2021. Tonight we're going to look for our first video at the live. In the past, I've typically my hobby with others. You're looking live through my telescope with my ZWO camera hooked up to my laptop, hooked up to YouTube, and all the things we can do. It's amazing what we can do in amateur astronomy today. This hobby has come an incredibly long way to the point that I can just share my telescope live with you and let you enjoy it while I do. This is what you're seeing right here on our screen is the Mare Humorum, the sea of moistures on the moon. It's that round flat plane there, mostly in the center of the screen. You see a bunch of craters on it and surrounding it. One of my favorites is crater Gassendi. On your screen, it's to the left. On the actual moon, it's to the north of the Mare Humorum. Gassendi looks a bit like a diamond ring. It's a filled-in crater. As you can see, a lot of these craters here on Mare Humorum have been filled in. They were here before. It was multi filled them in. One of the things you can crater Gassendi there, again to the left of your screen. The southern end of it, the part to the right, is actually partly filled in, and you can see a number of other craters that are partly filled in as well. This is things like this, sites like this caused early telescope viewers to think that these were water. That is why they were called mare, which was Latin for sea. This was the sea of moistures because to them these looked like bays. Crater Gassendi is a very popular crater and a very popular target among amateur astronomers as well, partly because it's so beautiful, because it's just so distinctive, and it's got a history, and it's partially filled in. Partially filled craters are always fun targets to look at. Crater Gassendi is about 110 kilometers, or just shy of 70 miles across, with a depth of 1.9 kilometers. It was named for Pierre Gassendi, a French astronomer who lived from 1592 to 1655. It was formed as a feature by a large crater being inundated by the lava that formed this lunar sea, with only the rim and some of the central mountain peaks just peaking above the surface. Even though it keeps a generally circular shape, the pair of craters here, as mentioned before, resemble a diamond ring. The crater rim can be as low as 200 meters high, or about 600 feet high, and it also goes as high as 2.5 kilometers above the surface. In a much more detailed view, you would be able to see as well that the crater rim, there are a series of rills or lunar valleys that follow that crater rim. They are called the Remages. The Apollo lunar program landing site. With your family or for your own entertainment, there will be content for kids and for us as adults as well, enjoying this as a hobby. So some of you who homeschool your kids, hopefully that will be useful as well. Please don't hesitate in comments to put what you would like to see of the moon and the planets. Planets, of course, are determined by the time of year. Right now, there aren't the major planets out, Saturn and Jupiter. Mars is slightly out, but it's far away, and even through my telescope would be nothing more than a red dot. So we would normally be looking at Saturn and Jupiter. They will be out much later in the year at this point. So for the moment, it is the moon. But the moon being closer to us than anything else, we get to enjoy the moon as a world. You can see the detail where if you look at Saturn, you see Saturn and its rings. It's a beautiful thing to look at and take pictures of, and we'll see plenty of that. But on the moon, you can explore different mountain ranges and valleys and different regions of the moon in detail. Again, it's close enough and large enough for a planetary body that we can enjoy it as a world in itself. So I hope you enjoy